In this lesson, guys, we're going to learn all about how to throw shots to the body, right? Body shots, okay? That's what we're going to do. So we're going to go to the breadbasket. We're going to go downstairs. We're going to go wherever we need to, but we're doing something other than just throwing shots to the head. And oftentimes, particularly if you're fighting bare knuckle and you're doing things for self-defense, sometimes you don't want to necessarily go fist to face, okay? And that's just not, or that target may not be available. You got to be able to learn how to hit the body accurately and do it well. A lot of times guys are going to leave their body open because they feel like either you're not going to hit them there or they feel like they can take it. But I'll be honest with you guys, everybody that I've made take a knee took a knee because of a body shot, okay? Now, in terms of sparring, right? So anytime, and I've had this happen many times, okay, where I'm sparring somebody, I hit them in the body, and then they got to take a knee, because they got hit in the body. I can hit them in the head, I can punch them in the head all day, but generally you don't want to do that with your sparring partners, hit them in the head and have them forced to take a knee because now they're probably dealing with a concussion or some other type of, injury or trauma to the head. So you don't necessarily, that's not ideal. That's not really what you want to do. But oftentimes, yeah, shots to the body, that is what will do it. It just takes the wind out of them. They're not expecting it. I'm not sure exactly what happens, but it's not good, right? So let's talk about how to strike the body, specifically punching, or our Afrikan Ngumi, our strikes, our punching, our fists to the body, because kicks are pretty obvious, right? Kicks are going to be closer to the body and to the legs, so they're kind of more lined up, and we've covered that a little bit already in terms of discussing kicks, but we haven't discussed that in terms of punching. So here's the biggest thing that you have to understand when you're striking to the body is the alignment to the shoulder. Anytime you're striking, you really want your punches to align with your shoulder. What that means is this: when I extend my arm here, right, and let's say, yeah, so I extend my arm here, I'm touching his chest, but if I want to hit him lower in the body, as soon as I lower my fist down, even though I'm touching him in the chest here, when I lower my fist down, look, I'm not reaching him now. I'm out of range, okay? So oftentimes when you have a taller fighter versus a shorter fighter, the shorter fighter oftentimes will want to be very low, want to be super low, because they want the guy to have to do this to hit him. If I have to do this to hit him, if he's ducking down or he's very low, that shortens up my range, right? That makes my arms much shorter than if he's very tall. If he's up here, now I'm able to reach him, maybe I'll touch him in the face. But if he's down here and I'm trying to hit him in the body, oh, now I'm not able to reach him. The only way I can reach him is if I come down to his level. And now naturally, I'm not even doing anything. All I'm doing is bending my knees, and I'm already able to touch his body because I'm in line with my shoulder. So the point is that anytime you're striking to the body, you want to try to align your punch to your shoulder. In most cases, not all, right? Not all cases, but most cases you want to try to do that. So what that's going to involve is going to be ducking. It's going to be slipping. It's going to be weaving through to throw these shots where you can actually reach the guy's body. So let's go over that aspect of it first. When it comes to throwing your straight attacks, your makuki, whether it's from the front hand or from your backhand, that's essentially what you're doing. So I'm going to be a little bit more at range here. And at range, yeah, I can kind of touch him with the straight makuki here off my front hand. To come down to the body, I'm going to do the same thing, just like this. But I'm essentially ducking, right? I'm ducking, boom, right? Boom, I'm ducking. And a lot of times I like, again, if you're really doing this and you're setting this up, you want to look up at them and then go low, boom, boom, right? And I might even fake high and then go low, right? Bam, bam, right? And then the fake may just be the shoulder, right? And the eyes, right? I'm gonna so I give them a look when I'm using feints typically, because I want it to be realistic. And a lot of times people will absorb the emotion off of your face. Even if you're not actually literally hitting them, if you have a facial expression like you're hitting them, a lot of times they will feel that intuitively. It's just like when you smile at somebody, right? It's natural for them to want to smile back, even if they have no reason to smile, even if they don't know you, even if, for whatever reason. It's just a little bit something about human nature, right? That emotions are infectious. They're contagious, okay? So anyway, I like to give off a certain emotional vibe because I want him to feel that vibe and also to elevate his emotion a little bit to get him off his game. It doesn't always work, but it's just a strategy in terms of when you're throwing your feints. So anyway, I'm coming here, boom, and then I'm dropping down to the body just like so. And again, I'm throwing this more so horizontally, so my thumb's really to the side because that lines up better for the most part with the torso as opposed to the vertical or at an angle or angled fist here. So here. It keeps my shoulder nice and high, and so I can keep my chin tucked. I'm keeping my hands up here. I don't like to duck down too often. I worry about running into kicks, things like that. But this is a great strike to land, and it's great at distance. Because here's the thing, guys. When you are throwing shots to the body, it's hard to move your body. Okay? It just is, right? So if you're throwing shots to the head, I can move my head all day. I can just lean back, right, and move my head. But look at my body. It's still in the same spot, okay? It's turning, right? It's rotating, but it's still in the same range. It's still in the same distance between me and my opponent. Whereas my head, I can move my head back, but look, my body's still here. So my point being is the body's hard to move. In order to move my body, I have to do what? I gotta move my feet, right? So my feet have to move. That's what moves my body. That's what moves my torso. But I can move my head without moving my feet at all. And of course, moving your head, this is gonna be faster. If I have to move my feet, that's a little bit slower, okay? So the body is gonna be a easier target oftentimes to hit than the head because they can't move it as quickly as they can move their head. So a lot of times when I'm sparring or whatever it is, I'm actually going to hit to the body, right? And then that sets up my shots to the head. So you use the body to set the shots to the head. They're sometimes easier shots to get, especially from this front hand. This is something that Floyd Mayweather was very, very successful at. He utilized a jab to the body just with that lead hand, bam, to the body, because this kept him nice and long. The other thing is that it makes it hard for the guy to counter you. Because like I talked about, when you're jabbing to the body, look at where my head is. My head's down very low and he's up very high. So if it's, again, it's going to shorten his punch. If he tries to punch down from here, it's just like me. I showed you earlier trying to punch down. It makes my punch very short. So it's going to be hard to catch them because my punch is very short. And this makes you longer. This makes you long by dipping down. So this gets my punch long while shortening his punch. And so that's the advantage to utilizing this sometimes because it helps you to kind of hit and not get hit. So you can touch them, boom, and then you can move out and move away, or you can touch them, boom, and then move over to the side and cut an angle and then stay in close and do something else. Or what I like to do too, I like to use this as a setup to shoot for his legs, right? And go into our get-based attacks, our grappling, right? Earth-based movements. So those are some different things you can think about in terms of your setups. And that's just off of one side. All I did was just do the front hand. The similar concepts apply with the rear hand, although the rear hand, it takes you longer to recover, longer to return back to your original position or move to a different position because you've rotated your body. But you can still do this. Boom, I can still throw this. Bam, right? Bam. This one I'm doing because I'm trying to cause some more damage, right? I'm trying to actually, I need to stop him. It hurt him a little bit more so than just throwing the front hand. Because it has a longer recovery time, you kind of have to cause a little bit more of a stun, right? Because if he doesn't feel anything, then he's just going to keep moving forward. And I'm already trying to come back to my position and he's rushing in on me. So I need to give him a reason to stop his movement. And oftentimes when I'm doing this punch specifically, I'm actually punching down, right? I'm punching down his stomach and maybe in a little bit towards the bladder, okay? So I'm coming at a downward angle and that creates that kind of impact, right? And that's really the reaction that I'm going for in that regard. I'm typically not going directly straight, but because it's the rotation, it is slower in the delivery and slower in the recovery. So I'm already high. I'm already tall here, right? My shoulder is higher than the target. So my punch naturally wants to start high, and then by the time I'm low, it hits the target. So the trajectory of the punch is already at this sharp angle downward. So that's naturally, it's going to be more natural for your fist to go that way, as opposed to waiting to get down here and then going straight, right? I'm not going to wait and then go straight, wait and then go straight. I wanted my punch to go into the target as soon as possible. So my punch is going to start as I'm dipping down, as I'm ducking or slipping or whatever the case may be. So that's really your mukuki from the rear hand going in that direction. With all these, of course, you can add footwork to them, and we'll cover footwork with your strikes in later lessons. But let's go ahead and move on to more your curve line attacks. As we call the circle-based attacks in Swahili, they're muduara. But with these type of attacks, with these hooking motions are right here, right? Hooking motions are right here, right? They're like kulagu, right? The Swahili for hook, right? Just right here. Yep. Okay. So with these type of movements, all right, with these types of motions, I can still do this ducking down, dipping down, and coming with the hook. And sometimes I'll do that, right? I'll do that. Naturally, when you do this, however, this is naturally going to weave you to the other side, right? It's going to weave you to the other side. Or if I come here, it's going to weave my head, bring my head to the other side. And I'm typically doing this with the rotation in the foot. By now, you should know with most of your rotational powered attacks that you're going to be doing this with your push pivot. Okay, I'm not going to remind you of this all the time where you need to push pivot, right? So you're going to push pivot, and you can do this push pivot. You should know that that's really how you're going to throw most of your rotational strikes. Okay, with that dynamic initiation off of the push pivot, generating power from Geb, right? Power from the earth, from the ground. So this is how we're throwing these right here. Notice sometimes I'm throwing these as a horizontal fist. Again, I'm hitting with the first two knuckles in this case. I might throw it more as the fist is pointed down. Again, it doesn't matter a whole lot. I just need you to throw it such that you will hit the target. Okay, that's typically how I'm going to throw those. But sometimes with the kulabu style punches, the hooking style punches, I'm going to throw most of these a lot of times from an upright position. And you say, well, why would I throw it from upright position? It just depends, because sometimes I'm in close, I'm here, and if I feel like I can get away with it, again, I don't like the idea of dropping my hand, leave my face open, but if I can get away with it, sometimes I'm going to throw this right here because he may not be expecting it. Or if I was able to move off to an angle, I'm going to dig into the body from here, right? Or dig into the body from here with the hammer. So sometimes you can get away with that. It just depends on the situation. But if you want to be a little bit safer, you can kind of dip the head down, but you got to keep your hands up, be aware of everything else that's happening around you. And then you can definitely dig this in. You can dig this in, right? And dig this in like so, okay? And then just kind of weave yourself from side to side, rotating, pushing, and pivoting. But I like to give you guys both options. I'm typically never going to do this with the straight attacks. I'm never going to punch from an upright position with straight attacks, but from the hooking shots, then sometimes I will, especially if I can come here. I might dig to the body, then come up to the head, and then, chop to the throat or something, elbow, and pull them in for a headbutt and foot stomp and knees, okay, right? Because I don't necessarily want to lose my position, so I might do those kind of things. But these type of punches work better if you're going to stay upright and you're not going to level shift or duck down. But both options are good. Just kind of keep your rotation, keep your push pivot, all those kind of things. So that's really hitting to the body and your body shots. Now, striking to the body is not just boxing or combat sports. Striking to the body from Afrikan martial arts standpoint involves all parts of the body, right? So this means also hitting to the groin, right? Hitting to the groin. I'm gonna dip down. Maybe he's looking for that body shot, but I'm actually gonna come up with the punch here. More of a north or a south to north type of hooking attack, right? Circle curve line attack, just striking up. And I'm doing this either with the blade of the hand or with the fist, right? The upper part of the fist here, just scooping up, boom, or blade of the hand, boom. And here with the blade of the hand, I'm actually trying to hit more so with the wrist, right? I'm just trying to get something up there, boom, okay? Just to cause that impact, that quick stun. And guess what? My head's right here. You better know a headbutt's coming as well, right? Or a headbutt to the chest. Those things are going to be coming, right? But that strikes to the body. A lot in sparring, I'm going to punch him in the leg. Boom. Okay. That's what I do, right? I'm not just going to go to the body, but boom, I'm going to hit him in the leg. Boom. And then I'm going to come to the body or go up higher or whatever the case may be. People don't generally expect you to punch them in the leg. Okay. Is it practical for self-defense? I mean, it wouldn't be my first choice, right? It wouldn't be my first choice. But like I said, sometimes you don't have a good target. You just don't have a good target. So you just need to touch them somewhere. Okay. I just need to touch them somewhere. If I'm going to use more of a sweeping kick, a fagia, a sweeping kick here, maybe I'm going to do that. Maybe I'm going to hit him in the leg. Hit him wherever you can. If I can hit him in the arms, right? Just strike the arms like we talked about. Boom, right? Whatever way you can touch your opponent, you just need to put hands on them, okay? You just need to lay hands on the brother, right? Sometimes that's what it takes. And sometimes when they feel your power, that sometimes could be enough. If you strike them in the leg and that kind of forces them to do this kind of motion and hyperextend their knee and bring their head towards you, then maybe you got an up knee to send them on their way, right? So sometimes these kind of things may seem minor or trivial, but they can set up other types of attacks. So don't limit yourself to just hitting to the body as far as like above the waistline. Think about strikes to the bladder, strikes to the groin, strikes to all parts of the legs, you know, tendons, anything, any target you can think of, okay, is vulnerable. Any way you can touch the guy, that can be a potential target, right? Stepping on the foot, right? All of those kind of things are strikes to the body, okay? Don't just limit yourself to hands and punches or things along those lines. So just get creative, okay? Think about other ways to hit to the body. I've given you some ideas and some principles, some concepts to think about in terms of your range and your distance and where you're vulnerable, but then also where your opponent's vulnerable, and then also how to set those type of attacks up so they can be successful.
A man with my knowledge, what can you tell a man like me now? What's your suggestion? That's your question. Okay, you talking to me, not a dumb Negro or pork chop eater, don't know the truth. I'm free now. I woke up. Now, what are you going to tell me now? I done gave you my solution, some land of my own, doing something for myself like you, England, and America do. Now, I know you're not against the black man. I know you're not against me having my land, are you? I know you English the ruled and slaved forever for a long time. But do you still today don't want me to have my own country and build for myself and govern myself? Would you think that's bad if we thought like that?